Jyotisa classics were not written like modern books, they were written as sutras. A sutra means a condensed seed of knowledge, where a vast predictive principle is packed into a very small statement. The great seers did not write in this style because they had less to say. They wrote like this because the knowledge was meant to be preserved, remembered, protected, and unlocked only through proper study, observation, Guru Parampara and real-life validation. That is why one sloka in a classical text may look simple, but when applied properly, it can change the entire way a horoscope is judged. One such deep principle comes in the second chapter of BPHS. Many students read this chapter as a devotional or mythological description because Maharṣi Parāśara connects the planets with the avatāras of Lord Vishnu. Sun is connected with Sri Rama, Moon with Sri Krishna, Mars with Narsimha, Mercury with Buddha, Jupiter with Vamana, Venus with Parasurama, Saturn with Kurma, Rahu with Varaha, and Ketu with Matsya. But this is not only mythology. This is not only prayer. This is a predictive key. Parāśara is telling us that grahas are not merely physical bodies moving in the sky. They are living channels through which karma becomes visible. The planet does not only show an event. The planet also shows the intelligence behind that event. This is where the concept of Jivamsa and Paramatmamsa becomes very important. Jivamsa means the individual soul current. It shows the personal karmic experience of the native. It is the level where the person experiences life through body, mind, family, profession, money, marriage, disease, fear, desire, duty, struggle, success, loss and social conditions. Paramatmamsa means the higher divine current of the planet. It shows the directing intelligence behind the karma. It is the level where the planet gives the power to guide, lead, correct, protect, create, transform, organize, teach, detach, uplift or consciously redirect life. In very simple words, Jivamsa shows where life makes you experience karma. Paramatmamsa shows where life gives you the power to direct karma. This difference is very subtle, but extremely powerful in prediction. Two people may have strong planets. Two people may have talent. Two people may have education, money, ambition and opportunity. Still, one person remains mostly shaped by circumstances, while another person is able to shape circumstances. One person may earn well but not sustain wealth. Another may begin slowly but build something lasting. One person may suffer in relationship and remain bound by emotional patterns. Another may suffer, but becomes mature, detached and wiser. One person may have a good career but remains dependent on the system. Another creates a system. Why does this difference come? Because the chart must be judged not only by planet, sign and house, but also by the level at which the planet is operating. Is the planet making the native undergo karma, or is it giving the native command over that karma? A Jivamsa Pradhana chart does not mean a weak chart. This is very important to understand. It means life is more experience-oriented. The person may be hardworking, intelligent, sincere, talented and capable, but life may place the person inside duties, responsibilities, family obligations, employment structures, relationship adjustments, health routines, financial limitations or social frameworks. Such a person may succeed very well, but usually by choosing the right structure, right timing, right discipline and right support. A Paramatmamsa Pradhana chart does not mean an easy chart. It means the person has stronger directing force. Such a person may be asked by life to lead, guide, organize, decide, protect, teach, build, reform, create or carry responsibility for others. This gives more command, but also greater accountability. If the planet is misused, the fall can also be strong. This is why Paramatmamsa should not be understood as freedom from destiny. It means greater capacity to participate consciously in shaping destiny. Jivamsa should not be understood as helplessness. It means the person has to experience karma more directly and must work intelligently within the field given by the chart. Let us take an example of a person who wants to start business. He may have skill, talent, experience, contacts, and even capital to invest. But if the horoscope is Jivamsa Pradhana in the career field, and the chart is stronger for structured work, salary, service, employment or institutional role, then business may begin with confidence, but during adverse dasher and difficult transit, its sustenance becomes questionable. This does not mean the person has no ability. It means the horoscope may not support independent risk-bearing in that phase. The right karma for such a person may be to remain in a stable professional structure, build side income slowly, avoid risky partnership, strengthen savings, and wait for a more supportive dasher before taking independent risk. But in a Paramatmamsa supported career flow, the person may have stronger power to direct work independently. Such a chart may support business, consulting, advisory work, teaching, leadership, self-employment, professional practice, client-based work or institution building, provided the relevant houses, dashas, nakshatras and vagas also support it. But this principle is not limited to job and business. In marriage, Jivamsa shows how relationship is experienced: attraction, adjustment, emotional dependence, family involvement, conflict, separation, compromise or duty. Paramatmamsa shows whether the person has the maturity to uphold relationship dharma, correct ego, protect the bond, guide the relationship and transform desire into commitment. In finance, Jivamsa shows earning, spending, salary, debt, family wealth, savings and gains. Paramatmamsa shows command over wealth, the ability to manage money, build assets, invest wisely, avoid greed, control expenditure and direct resources properly. In health, Jivamsa shows disease experience, weakness, fatigue, diagnosis, chronic pattern or bodily suffering. Paramatmamsa shows the corrective force, discipline, healing intelligence, recovery capacity, routine, spiritual strength and ability to reorganize life. In spiritual growth, Jivamsa shows suffering, attachment, repetition, fear and karmic bondage. Paramatmamsa shows awakening, detachment, Guru Kripa, mantra, higher discrimination and liberation from repetitive patterns. This is why the second chapter of BPHS should not be skipped as mythology. When Parāśara connects grahas with Vishnu's avatāras, he is giving a deeper way to understand the planet. Sun as Rama does not only show father, authority and status. It shows dharma, promise, honor and righteous leadership. If Sun works mainly at Jivamsa level, the person may struggle for recognition, ego, authority or father-related karma. If Sun works at Paramatmamsa level, the person becomes a source of dignity, discipline and moral authority. Moon as Krishna does not only show mind and emotions. It shows emotional intelligence, timing, strategy, devotion and inner rasa. A Jivamsa moon reacts. A Paramatmamsa moon understands emotion and uses it wisely. Mars as Narsimha does not only show anger, property, conflict and courage. It shows protective force and the destruction of injustice. A Jivamsa Mars fights. A Paramatmamsa Mars protects. Mercury as Buddha does not only show speech, business, trade and calculation. It shows discrimination, interpretation and refined intelligence. A Jivamsa Mercury talks and calculates. A Paramatmamsa Mercury understands and guides. Jupiter as Vamana does not only show wealth, children, education and teachers. It shows expansion through wisdom. A Jivamsa Jupiter receives guidance. A Paramatmamsa Jupiter becomes guidance. Venus as Parasurama does not only show love, marriage, comfort and pleasure. It shows purification of desire. A Jivamsa, Venus seeks comfort. A Paramatmamsa, Venus refines desire and creates harmony. Saturn as Kurma does not only show delay, duty, service and hardship. It shows the power to support the churning of karma. A Jivamsa, Saturn carries burden. A Paramatmamsa, Saturn becomes the foundation others depend upon. Rahu as Varaha does not only show ambition, foreignness, illusion and sudden rise. It shows the force that lifts something buried from darkness. A Jivamsa, Rahu becomes restless for more. A Paramatmamsa, Rahu can lift the person through unusual paths. Ketu as Matsya does not only show detachment, separation and loss of interest. It shows the preservation of subtle knowledge through dissolution. A Jivamsa, Ketu withdraws. A Paramatmamsa, Ketu liberates. So, how does this appear in the horoscope? It appears through the strength of planets, their dignity, their house ownership, their placement, their nakshatra, their dasha activation, their varga strength, their relation with lagna, 9th house, 10th house, atmakarika type indicators, and the way their results are repeated across the chart. The planet gives the force. The house gives the life area. The sign gives the environment. The nakshatra gives the inner command. The dasha gives the timing. The vargas show depth and durability. Without this, prediction remains incomplete. An astrologer may see a strong planet and say, this planet will give success. But the deeper question is, will the native only experience the result, or will the native command the result? Will the person sustain it? Will the person handle it rightly? Will the person use the planet's higher function, or fall into its lower expression? This is where many predictions fail. A strong mass can give courage, but if it is working at a lower Jivamsa level, it may give conflict, impulsiveness and legal trouble. The same mass at Paramatmamsa level gives disciplined courage and protection. A strong Rahu can give rise, but if used wrongly, it gives greed, illusion and scandal. At the higher level, Rahu can lift a person from an ordinary condition into extraordinary growth. A strong Venus can give relationship, luxury and attraction, but if used wrongly, it gives indulgence, attachment and loss through desire. At the higher level, Venus refines love and creates real harmony. Therefore, this concept is not only philosophical. It is deeply practical. It helps the astrologer decide whether the native should wait, act, lead, serve, detach, restructure, build, protect, invest, avoid risk, accept duty, take responsibility, or change direction. It also helps in remedies. A remedy should not only reduce suffering. A true remedy should align the native with the higher function of the planet. For Sun, it is not only success, it is discipline and truth. For Moon, not only peace, emotional purity. For Mars, not only victory, controlled courage. For Mercury, not only business, correct speech and discrimination. For Jupiter, not only wealth, wisdom. For Venus, not only love, purified desire. For Saturn, not only delay removal, responsibility and humility. For Rahu, not only rise, ethical ambition. For Ketu, not only relief from breaks, detachment and inner knowledge. But this principle also has limits. Jivamsa and Paramatmamsa should not be used as a shortcut. One should not say blindly that this chart is Jivamsa Pradhana, so the person cannot change anything. That is wrong. Every human being has present karma. Right action, discipline, remedy, awareness, correct timing and guidance can improve life. One should also not say that a Paramatmamsa Pradhana chart can escape destiny. That is also wrong. Such charts may face serious responsibilities, but they have more capacity to direct the outcome through right karma. Also, the whole chart should not always be given one label. A person may be Jivamsa Pradhana in marriage but Paramatmamsa supported in career. Another may have command in wealth but dependence in family matters. Another may be spiritually strong but materially bound. Therefore, every area must be judged separately. This is why we need to learn this principle. Because Jyotisha is not only about saying good period or bad period. It is about understanding the level of karma operating through the planet. Is the planet binding the native through experience, or is it giving the native authority to transform that experience? The same planet can give one person suffering and another person strength. The same Saturn can make one person feel blocked and another person become highly responsible. The same Jupiter can make one person dependent on advice and another person become a guide. The same Ketu can give one person confusion and another person deep spiritual insight. The difference lies in the level of operation. Jivamsa is experience. Paramatmamsa is direction. Jivamsa is karma felt personally. Paramatmamsa is karma handled consciously. Jivamsa shows what binds. Paramatmamsa shows what can elevate. Jivamsa shows where the person undergoes life. Paramatmamsa shows where the person can shape life through right karma. So when you look at a horoscope, do not ask only whether a planet is strong or weak. Ask a deeper question. Is this planet making the native experience karma, or is it giving the native the power to direct karma? That one question can change the whole prediction. This is the hidden beauty of the second chapter of Brihat Parāśara Horā Śāstra. It reminds us that a horoscope is not a dead map of events. It is a living map of karma, consciousness, experience and transformation. And when Jivamsa and Paramatmamsa are understood properly, astrology becomes more than prediction. It becomes a way to know where life is testing you, where life is guiding you, and where your present karma can still reshape your future. If you like this video, please like, share and comment.